When looking for the king of podcasts, you're at the wrong channel.
Well, excuse me!
Looking for good ideas for life? You're far from good hands.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
If you think the listener is always right, you're far from the right place.
Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works!
Hosted by a Northeasterner by birth, but a rebel by choice.
Are you threatening me?
If you want a host that floats between love and madness,
and we know the night is always gonna be here anyway. Thinking of you's working up my appetite. Looking forward to a little afternoon delight.
then play on and listen to Crazy Train Radio.
All right, guys, listen to this blues riff and B. Watch me for the changes and try and keep up, okay?
Within the gaming world, there are your general gamers, but then there are those that enjoy the dark underbelly of gaming. If you're one of those that enjoy the dark underbelly of gaming, we certainly got the place to send you. Scorpion Lair Games. That's right, Scorpion Lair Games is the creators of the true crime hit Killers, the card game. Let's not forget they also have Killers Clothing Company, their profiler game, and things like the 5-Minute Murder channel on YouTube. And we certainly can't forget the new book that is certainly a hit, Beyond the Headliners, True Crimes, Myths, and Legends. Make sure you visit Jeff and the Scorpion Lair Games on Facebook and everywhere today.
Hi, this is Austin Judd, and you are listening to Crazy Train Radio.
Hey folks, it's your least favorite host in the podcast world, Croc, Jonathan Steele. And boy, do we have a good one for you today.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this next guest is a woman of many hats, whether it be modeling, acting, wife, mother. There is so much we can get into and will be getting into, but she was involved with our watch party of Big Top Evil. She's acted in another film by the same production company, Cannibal Comedian, as Crystal. But let's go ahead and get into everything with Miss Austin Judd.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
So, Miss Austin Judd, how are you? How are things since we chatted?
Lovely, thank you. I even got some new news about some new movies coming up.
Do we want to start with that?
I don't know, do you? I'm excited to talk about it.
Let's go ahead. What do you got?
Okay. So I got approached by a producer I've worked with before in a movie called Cult Detective that we're going to be filming in the future. But he's like, before we shoot that, I have a movie that I got greenlit called Siesta, and it's going to be filmed here in Sarasota. And here's what I'm allowed to say about it. This is the log line. A veteran hitman who wants to retire must train his boss's secret son on one last job in Siesta Key. But when a drunk TV reporter accidentally kills their target and covers the story to hide their crime, everyone's secrets start piling up, and so do the bodies. So it'll be a fun drama. It's a little different than things I've done before. I get to play a bartender that owns like the bar that's like a central scene of a lot of parts in the movie where people meet up and stuff. So I'm so excited about it.
Well, I just want to make sure it's not your son that's being accused of any of this in the tagline, right?
Not at all, no. Nope, I just get to play a supporting role. I'm not in the drama. I get to observe the drama.
Ooh.
I
Yeah, she does the hair
know.
flip.
Yes,
Well,
because I have hair. I can flip it.
Yeah. Unlike me, I can't flip mine anymore.
Yes, you can flip other things. We have many fingers we like to flip these days sometimes.
I don't know.
Flip it up, flip it up.
So how are the babies? How's the husband on that front? How are things?
Oh, my baby's wonderful. We're still getting our circadian rhythm up, but we're so happy to have her. My son is 9 years old, so he got to have the only child life for so long, and now that we have a baby that's his new sibling, he's so excited. He's all about it. He loves to play with her, and she loves him just as much. If I ever have her like feeling cranky, I'll just like, oh, let's go visit your brother. We'll go to his room, and she just big smiles as soon as she sees him. It's so sweet.
If I can ask, how old is she?
She's almost 11 months. She's 10 months. She was born July 2 last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, because I saw her briefly when we were finishing up the Big Evil. Hey, baby got to eat. All good.
I heard her crying, and my poor little heart and boobs were like, "Go get her. She'll be fine." And I'm like, I'm not the. There's so many people here. They're not gonna care. So
Hey, baby needed attention.
Babies have to be, and you have to be, breastfeeding positive these days. Everyone's scared in public. Like, you know what? Your baby's got to eat. Don't let people shame you. Do what you got to do. Woman power.
That's why I was like, ask whatever, hey, gotta take care. You got to take care of business when you got to take care of business.
And it really shows how our whole cast is just one big family. We've worked together for so long that I felt comfortable being able to do that with them, because we've just traveled so much together. We've worked so much together. We've seen each other grow. We knew each other before we had our family. So we're all just one big family here.
Yeah, it's all good. So, like I said, that was towards the end. We did a little viewing of Big Top Evil. And like you said, it's the same crew and all that stuff. And I was getting some positive reviews from the crew and all that stuff besides yourself after the fact. So, why don't we start? Oh, yeah. Why don't we start there with Big Top Evil? So, what did you like about that particular project, and what really intrigued you with that?
That project was the gift that kept on giving. Like, I really wanted to act, and before I did that movie, I was only modeling because I was so nervous. I still get nervous and stage fright and everything like that. I was very much an introvert growing up, but I loved acting. I loved feeling empathy in another person's shoes and being able to portray that in an honest way, whether I agreed with that person or not. I loved knowing I could tap into that. And there was just something beautiful about that. And then I learned that's modeling. Modeling is acting without having to memorize all the lines, without having to go through a whole theatrical production. So I was like, wow, I really love modeling as a way to express this art form that I'm too scared to really put myself out to do. I did some theater productions. I'd always forget my lines. I'd be so scared. I'm like, oh, I love to do this, but why am I so scared? So modeling really opened up that door to me not being scared to be criticized, looked at, being raw on film and not scared to look ugly. People liked working with me because I wasn't just a model who wanted to look good on my one side and look pretty. I also would do the scary ugly. I would also do the heart-wrenching. And I'm like, this is all acting. And then a photographer who I worked with, Tom Bender, he worked for the Bradenton Herald, was covering the auditions and movie for Sean for Sean when he was casting for Big Top Evil. He's like, Austin, you have to get down here and audition. This is so your thing. You would love to do this. I know they would love you because he just caught the vibe of them and he knew me. He's like, oh, this is so Austin's people. And he was right, obviously, in the long run. But I was unable to drive at the time. I deal with some medical conditions that caused me to pass out. And at the time, I was still getting my license back and dealing with what was going on with me. So I was like, I have no way to get there. So he called up a mutual friend of ours who's another photographer. All these were just mutual connections. And he picked me up and took me to the audition so I could get there. Talk about
Right
it
on.
takes a village, right?
Yeah.
And when I got there, I loved everyone who was standing in line. I met Miss Sadistic, Lucifer's axe. I met Sean's family there, a lot of the other characters who were eventually casted. We were just having so much fun. I'm like, is this acting? Is this what the industry's really like? Because other things I've seen have been very much more superficial and like snobby. And these were just a bunch of fun, amazing, creative people. And I auditioned, I put my heart out, and then they're like, we want you as Candy, we want you as one of the villains. And I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so much fun. And that's how we got started. That's how we got connected.
And I would say with what you were just referencing, is it always all happy, happy, joy, joy and stuff? I think that was Ren and Stimpy. I don't freaking remember. But I was actually talking about this a little bit with somebody, one of our fans attended a show in Texas, and we were talking. He brought up about a bad encounter with somebody who's got a little bit of a name to them. I don't want to drop here in case they hear this.
Yeah, we don't want to talk bad.
I wasn't surprised by the person because I had a so-so experience with them, you know. But it's like, yeah, it can be. Most people are like and happy and
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here, but it's like I wasn't surprised when he said this during a viewing last night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing shocks me anymore with this world. So
well,
anyway,
what doesn't surprise me is that no matter what field you get into, there's going to be polar opposites of opinions. So that's just that part of the industry. You got to witness it as like, yeah, it's not all gumdrops and buttons, but in my own experience, it wasn't either. But you choose to accept the reality of what you got from the experience. I could mope on like, oh, I didn't get this or I didn't involve with this. But I'd much rather be like, you know what? I love this about it. So next time I have an opportunity, I'm going to make sure I apply more of this and less of this. And that's just growing. That's just life.
Yeah, exactly. It's, like I said, I've seen a lot in 14 years of doing this.
Yeah.
And friends because most of the guests have become friends in 14 years. So I got a gamut.
That's a great reputation to have when people want to keep working with you.
Yeah. I got there, whether it's music, acting, etc. There's people look at my I'll say this, an ex who's still a friend of mine. She was looking at my phone list because my phone was open and she goes, wow, you have contact with this one, that one. I wasn't trying, it wasn't trying to brag.
You weren't trying to do anything. She just noticed.
She goes, and she actually asked me to get her to meet the one musician. I said,
Aww.
I think we can make that I think we can make that happen.
Everybody gets one, just like Spider-Man.
Yeah, you get one free pass. So no.
I'm friends with my exes too. I get that.
Yeah, but it's like you get one free pass to ask this favor.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like the Godfather. You know, in that way.
You come to me with a favor. I'll give you this one because we're family.
But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. So, let's go to the personal side again real quick. I'll be bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you mentioned about growing up shy and stuff like that, but it also sounds like you had an interesting childhood anyway, because you had two moms, two dads.
Yeah.
So, explain this to me, because sometimes, I've heard of maybe one parent rising, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm saying this respectful. Hey, maybe I bat for the other team, which is cool. I'm cool with all of it. But it's like to have both your parents.
It's a part of life, yeah.
Yeah, but both parents. Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
when I heard
yeah.
that, I go,
Well,
that's
she must be
interesting.
super gay.
No, no, no.
Very
But yeah,
queer.
yeah. Hey, if you were, you'd still be sitting here talking to me. I don't care.
Yeah, no,
But what I,
it
yeah,
was a very special and unique experience that um I definitely got through as a warrior, but I wouldn't recommend for every little child to have to go through. I feel like everything we went through as a family, there was a lot we experienced positively and negatively growing up openly because I was born in 1985. My brother was born in 1981. My sister was born 6 weeks after I was born. She was adopted into our family, so we grew up like
oh,
twins. Yeah, so we grew up like twins. My That's actually its own story. My mom's had to adopt as single parent female,
hmm
and they there was a system going on in the 80s where there were a lot of lesbians really helping other lesbians in the system. And it's really sweet and not talked about because it's only just now, we're just now adults talking about it. But they knew people in the system who, when they had to go inspect my mom's house to see if they could adopt any children, they sent the person in a wheelchair who couldn't go up the stairs to go to my mom's bedroom to see that they shared a bedroom. They specifically sent certain people who wouldn't notice or pay attention to certain things.
it's smart. But no,
So there
it's
was a
smart, but
hidden
it's
network of people
yeah.
getting to have families because it was so scary. You could have your child taken away from you just for being gay.
If they found out.
If they found out. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of high risk and a lot of high reward with having a gay family from the 70s and 80s and on up. But I knew our responsibility as children was not to change people's minds, but to show that we love each other and that we exist. Because the biggest thing I heard from grown-ups in my face were like, "You're a bastard and you're going to hell, and I'm gonna pray for you." And I'm like, "You don't even know us. We have God's love in our family. My mom's a minister. She preaches about love and respect and humanity, and that we're all worthy, and you're telling me I'm the bastard? I don't feel that." And they're like, "Well, we don't know how kids are going to turn out with gay parents." And I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm happy." You know what my problem is? Society. People
Because
judging us and having a say over our life. I don't care if they like us, but the fact that their opinions get a vote and they're like, "Oh, I'm not into politics," that's lucky for you. I have to be. I have no choice because I was thrown as a child into the gut wrenches of people's opinions. And that's a lot to deal with when, especially in the 80s and 90s, when it was very much, there was a lot of sarcasm, gay this, gay that, faggot, all that things. And it was gut wrenching. I was considered the gay kid in school, which meant that because I was openly with my parents, I might as well have been gay. It didn't matter. I was cooties. You know how cooties are? You touch them. If you're around me, you were probably going to be gay. So everyone really repelled against me because either their parents told them to stay away from me or they didn't want to be associated with being gay. And even the closeted gay kids, I understood their struggle and I understood why they couldn't be around me because I wasn't allowed to people's birthday parties. I wasn't allowed to people's houses. And I understood that they were in a house that did not accept them. And I was blessed to have a family that loved me no matter how I turned out.
yeah,
So I felt sorry for my bullies. At the same time, I still struggled with self-love. And that's kind of what I still push and preach today
yeah.
is,
All right. Because, and I'll be open and honest here, because I wasn't a bully and all that stuff. But
Right.
even as an adult, I've made jokes. I've made this. You know what I mean? We all do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
However, on the serious side of this, because it's, I always got, like, I'm very sarcastic and stuff, but
Mhm.
you got to know your audience and
Right.
not do it as a bully. But
Right.
this, on the serious side on this topic, I don't mind admitting that. But
Mhm.
on the serious side of this, of what you were talking about, at
Mhm.
the end of the day,
Mhm.
were you guys fed, had a roof over your head, loved, and taken care of by your families, no matter what they look like?
Exactly.
Were, and obviously, from what you're saying, you were. So who gives a shit?
Thank you. I
You know what I mean?
appreciate that.
At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Jokes aside, whatever. And obviously times have changed. But hey, if you were taken care of, you were fed, you had a roof, clothes, the whole, everything and you know now as a mom of two. But you know what I'm saying? If as long as the kids are getting taken care of, the best of whoever the parent is, gay, straight, black, white, I don't care.
Right. And it's shown in college studies, college documented like surveys, that a child needs only at least one main human in their life to care for them, to know that they're their go-to, which is why single moms still work, which is why single dads can still work, because a child needs one consistent human in this world who's on their team their whole life.
Hey,
and the fact that I had four, I was so spoiled.
You just hit what I was going to say. You were lucky enough to have four.
I was so blessed. Christmas was an explosion of love and presents. It was insane. I have little videos my dad posted of us when we were kids, just dancing and singing and just having the best time. And I'm just like, people thought this was wrong.
But you guys were taken care of and loved. Who cares?
We were happy. We were loved. We got to see all across America. We got to travel in a minivan with 3 kids, 2 moms, and a couple dogs cross country from like Florida to California, where my mom went to seminary in Berkeley. And then we traveled across the country for her to go to her internships to North Carolina, Tennessee, which is where I picked up my accents from, was like doing all that traveling.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, like I said,
we got to see the country face to face and see the discrimination in all the different parts. And it was really interesting. You go to different parts, there's more or less discrimination.
Yeah.
California thought we were hella cool. Tennessee, we were like terrified.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I can see totally, you know what I mean, totally different opposites of that one, that's for sure.
We even, there's one side of the family of one of my moms. We don't even talk to them, but her dad was neighbors with the head of the KKK. If that gives you an idea of my Deep Woods family in Florida, it's terrifying. Terrifying. So I know I'm karmic revenge on the sense that I'm loving and so super queer and like getting the world out about our family. And this is their legacy is me.
Yeah. Since you said the KKK there's an actually interesting story I got a kick out of, and I know this will sound wrong when I say I got a kick out of, but I will send it to you because it was actually out of the Maryland branch. And I don't know how we ended up going this direction we're here, but they're out of the Maryland branch of the KKK. And you may or may not have heard the story. There was a black musician. He was just like a local musician. He did the bars and the recording studio. He made his living, luckily, as a musician, and wrote for people too, like paper articles and stuff like this. This particular gentleman, and he decided to ask for an interview with the head Klansman, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't tell him he was black. Like it was one of those like. Yeah, other guy.
What year was this? When was this? Like what era?
Oh, this would have been
like
somewhere
40?
In the early 90s.
Oh, okay. This is more recent. Okay.
This is more modern times.
In the 90s. Oh my goodness. Okay. That is
something like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like something I think original, like early 90s.
Yeah, it sounds like something that older that happened, but it's newer. Yeah. Okay. That's wild.
So anyway, they set up this interview. The whole guy, the Klansman, goes, yeah, all right, I'll talk to your boss. The musician had his secretary who helped book their gigs and everything, set up the interview. But don't tell him I'm black. If he asks, you can tell him. But if it's not brought up, we don't need to say anything. He'll find out when he gets there, right? Kind of deal.
Boy.
So I'll send you the whole video. It's an interesting story. It's an interesting story. So the Klansman gets there with his secretary, or not security guard,
Yeah.
who is armed 3 ways from Sunday. And they decide to meet at this hotel. And it's like, so they walk into the room. They they called ahead, gave him the room number. They show up and it's like, you are the one who's going to do the interview with you. But now they're thick as thieves, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because why they're thick as thieves? Here's the funny part about it.
Yeah.
And things were so tense, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, okay, like it's like we're here in the moment now. We might as well do it, right?
The air must have been so palatable, thick, just like
and so here's where it loosened up for them. Because as the musician, I can't think of the guy's name, you'll see it in the story. Trying to be a hospitable host, he says, he went and got a bucket. You know the buckets you get in hotels to put ice and all in?
Yeah.
So he got a bucket filled the bucket of ice and got a couple sodas, put it in there, and hey, would you got to both the guard and the Klansman goes, hey, if you guys want something to drink, feel free here, But like you said, that it was so thick in the room. And what broke the ice literally was the ice was melting, and they were probably talking, say, half hour, 40 minutes at that point, and you hear because the ice was melting, so just shift it.
Ice literally broke. Oh, I love that.
And it was like the security guard there. At first, they didn't know what it was. Security guard gets ready to grab his gun. The Klansman's getting ready. Everybody jumped.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
The Klansman had one on him. The musician had something on him because I'm going to protect myself. But everybody jumps and's ready to. What was that? Then they figured out it. Everybody figured out it was the ice, just kind of as it was melting. It's like
that's hilarious. Like
but
literally
it changed,
broke the ice.
It changed it.
Went from a frustration, scared, intense to hilarity. That's a beautiful moment.
But yeah, it ended up becoming something, And this guy, the musician who started this whole thing, would go to rallies and stuff after the fact, and it'd be like, he had the Klansmen be preaching whatever they preach, and he'd like, why is he here? He's my friend. They ended up becoming friends and stuff. He gets a pass. He's my friend. This guy became my friend. Like leave him be. So yeah, I'll send you that whole.
It reminds me of that guy who went out and started friending Klansmen, and the Klansmen started leaving the Klan and donating and giving him their Klan suits. So he has like a whole collection of Klan suits for friends that he's made. And that's how true change happens. It's not becoming viral. It's not being the next big things. It's interactions you have with people on an individual basis where you make true connections.
But anyway, because we got started talking about your folks and stuff.
No, I love it. I love it.
No, it's cool. And I'll find the videos. It's on YouTube because it's a cool story.
I'll watch it.
And there's you mentioned about them passing off when they quit. He actually got this guy's uniform. He ended up eventually quitting and stuff. And so this musician has his cape and all, whatever you would call it.
That's beautiful.
So like it was interesting. It's an interesting story. But I'm glad that you had with the 4 folks though taking care of you, not just 2.
4 of them, yeah.
I mean,
my moms were the main caretakers. They were the ones who originally wanted kids. My dads didn't have to be involved, but they just loved us so much. They were literally just the donators, but they're like, no, we love them. We want to be involved. So it just happened.
Yeah. So what I was going to ask is, before we go back to the professional stuff, with you having not just 2, but 4 to love on yous, what kind of lessons would you say was taken from that with your kids now that you can apply to your kids?
My main parental strategy can be summed up into that poem. I can't remember who wrote it, but your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life, longing for themselves. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. And the way my parents raised me that I valued the most was that they saw me as a unique individual, a soul that came into this life, not to be a replica of them, but to have my own way and my own path in life. And my goal as a mother is to provide them with their passions, their goals, whatever they need. They teach me how to be their mom and not the other way around. And I feel like
Nice.
having that be the center of my goals for taking care of them. I have a child who's 95th percentile in his school since he's been in kindergarten. He is the most empathetic, beautiful boy I've ever met in my life. He's there for people in ways I don't see 9-year-olds really react to people. And, I like to think that I'm just nurturing something that's already there and I can't really take credit for it. I just see him for the beautiful soul he is and try and encourage the things
Dude,
make him happy.
that was me. That was me if you're reaching for your phone, but do not look. That's something different because of what you're saying
Gotcha.
here. Do not watch that because it's as being a parent. Do not watch that until we're done.
I won't.
Okay, because that will probably tug at your strings. That's all I'll say. What I just said.
I'm an easy crier too. You know it will.
All right.
Save that nugget for later.
Yeah, we'll save that till you have a second to yourself to watch, and you probably be familiar with it at this point.
Yeah, when I get something in my eye and I need to clear it out.
Yeah, exactly. So, what kind of modeling work would you say you did and got started with?
I got started with just basically free shoots. My friend was a model and she just brought me to some fitness shoots, some bikini shoots. And I really enjoy working with my body and dancing. I'm really good with my body and I really understand the perspective that people have when they're shooting me and how to portray emotion through the body. And I was really able to explore that through all these free shoots from it's just stupid little bikini shoots and sexy shoots. But for me, it was like free training. And so a lot of it was it seemed like I was trying to be a bikini model and famous and stuff, but really what I ended up really loving the most was the artistic photos, where now I work at Ringling College. I've been working there since 2019, 2020, something like that. And it's nude. Usually that's something people don't want to do, and I never thought I'd ever want to do nude. But when I found out how beautiful the art world is with the woman's body, the human body in general, and the perspective on it, it made me love myself on a level, not in an ego way, but in a way that it's like my body could be in any shape, form, and I would still love it. And usually modeling doesn't do that. So for me, it's almost like a spiritual journey, finding out going through all these different forms of modeling of expression and finding myself in some place I never thought I would be. And in doing that, it makes me not even scared to go on camera and have all these lines and talk to all these people who have more experience than me, because I'm nude for college students constantly. I'm people's worst, my job is usually people's worst nightmare. And I found it to be the most beautiful experience I've ever done professionally. And so it's really helped me find myself. And it's not something I ever thought I would do. See, when I was a kid, people thought I was a boy. My name was Austin. I had a rat tail for about 6 or 7 years. I get it. I wore my brother's hand-me-downs. I liked comfortable clothes. I liked sweatpants and t-shirts in middle school. So I obviously was not very popular. And everyone thought I was a boy. They insisted I was a boy to the point that they would literally grab at my genitals to try and prove me wrong. And it's like, I'm a child. Don't do that.
Oh, I know this will sound wrong. That almost sounds like a joke I tell when I have to fly.
Dude, I would get yelled at walking in the women's restroom, like, this is the girls' room. I'm like, I'm a girl. I'd yell back at them.
Yeah, there might be a joke that I might tell. And I was coming back from California to the East Coast, and I was joking with our regulars in a movie group on the chat, and we have a Facebook chat for the regulars who support the show. And I said, and I might have said something along the lines of, I may have taken a blue chew before the going through the security pat down. Sir, what is that? I don't know. You might need to go wash your hands. Yeah, because that's the sick and twisted sumbitch I am,
because you gotta take life lighthearted.
I had to have fun with it at some point, right?
If you have to deal with PSA, you might as well have fun with it, right?
It's like I'm either going to get somebody to, folks, this really didn't happen. It was a joke. But
Yeah.
I said there's only two ways this could go. This could be haha and going through, or I'm spending the night in LAX jail or something. All right.
Well, it was worth the risk then.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know
This could
what?
go either
Jail would have,
ways.
to be honest, the jail would have been a much better story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll
So
be
you
for the
would have
next
won.
time.
You would have won either way.
Yeah. Well, hey, you're kind of cute. How are you? No. You're bigger than me. I'll take it easy. All right. Now,
You want to test this hand or this hand? Both hands?
watch them first. Watch them when you're done. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. See what happens when I'm a fan of guys like Ron White. No, but so
I
I
grew
was
up with
gonna.
BMX. It's cool.
With the model and what you're saying about the appreciating yourself along the way, and no
Yeah.
matter what shape and size and stuff.
Yeah.
From the physical standpoint, would that partially be because, or would that partially be because of going to massage therapy school?
That was very, very helpful, actually. Yeah, I weighed like 200 pounds at my most when I was in school. And when I got out of school, because of all the stress of the bullying and having to just always have to be on and in defense, it was really hard for me. But once I left school, I dropped like 50 pounds. And then I was about 150 when I entered massage therapy school. And as I learned how the human body worked, everything clicked. I'm like, that's what I'm doing to myself. I've been lied to. And then I like changed my whole lifestyle and everything just dropped. I think the lowest I got to was 120, but that's uncomfortably. That was when I was doing like muscular body shoots and stuff like that, but I don't like doing that intense anymore. It's not my preference. It was fun to do. Like it all was fun experiences to add to my life, enrichment. And if I wanted to do that, I could, but right now I'm embracing the mom body because this is the first time I've had boobs in a very, like, I'm 40 and I finally feel like my breasts have come in and I'm enjoying having, like, I have this now. I never had the curve before. And I'm like, this is what women complain about. I really like it. So I'm gonna be in a little era right now where I'm enjoying my curviness.
You embrace, yeah.
But when I stop breastfeeding, I'm probably gonna go back to my usual, which is kind of tone. I have a lot of like the female testosterone gene in me, so it's kind of easy for me to shape up more than other women. Like I could probably get abs easier than most common women. But I much prefer some tone with a soft belly, or I look very no, I don't want to say masculine, but I'm not comfortable in my body either because when you sit down, it is nice to have cushion to sit on. When you hug people, it is nice to have a little squish. And it's like there's visual tightness and beauty and things that are popular, but there's also a comfort within your own body of like, well, how do you actually feel when you're like that? How do you actually feel when you're in that lifestyle? And you can find a balance and you can change. Like 1 year you may feel like, oh, I feel like going to the gym every week. I feel pumped. Go with that. That makes you feel good. But there's a point if it makes you feel bad and you're like, I want to go lay on the beach and read a book. Then that's what your soul calls to do. And that's what'll keep you healthiest overall is the mindset, is knowing what your balance is. And you don't know until you try.
If you're happy with what you are, you know, hey.
Clap your hands.
Oh, wow. Ooh, I get somebody to play with and she plays back. Nice.
Yeah, that's what we do. This is how actors are an interview, like you're an interviewer. We yes and. We just go with it.
Yeah, exactly. So with prepping for acting roles and you got the new stuff you said at the beginning of this, how would you describe yourself in the learning process of acting?
When I was doing Cannibal Comedian, I think I went too method because I do have some personal experiences of actually being captured by a psychopath that I don't share. I'm not ready to share, but I tell enough that I know what I'm doing. I know what the experience feels like. I know what it's like to have that that feeling of sympathizing with your captor, of feeling like it's maybe it's your fault that you're in this situation.
Mhm.
And I had to go to that dark place for that character. And I was by myself out there in California. And I wish I had someone with me to help kind of hold my hand through that. I think is what I learned from it. If you're going to go into a dark role and you are more prone to the method, because you can't really help what method works for you. That's just what works, is pulling from true empathy. But when it's an experience you've personally had, you can't help but feel those feelings again. It's just how it is. And it also for me was like, well, now I have a use for these feelings, and it's not just this victim part. It's a tool now. It's a tool that I use to make something beautiful. And I even got awards for that. I beat out Jordan Peele for Best Supporting Actor. That was
Nice.
a mind-blowing thing I never thought that could ever happen in my life. And I had never even won an award. I mean, I won a humanitarian award for volunteering before, but I had never been like an awards person. I never competed for things. I never did anything to like earn awards. But when I earned awards for this movie, all I could think about was like, I sacrificed some emotional, damage to put into this, and I'm glad something came out of it, because for me it creates the transformation, and it changes that energy from being a victim to being a champion, to being the hero of my own life, of living the life I'm worth living.
Now, with that, obviously, would you would agree that awards don't validate you?
No,
But
value
what I
what
would,
you feel about
yeah.
it.
But what I was going to say is, I think what would validate, in the little bit I've known you, is looking at the hubby, looking at that 9-year-old, and looking at that precious baby. That's, I think, what. Am I wrong on that? That's where the validation,
Oh no,
true
that is
validation.
definitely my main priority in life, and validation of how I'm doing is definitely my family's happiness. And they're very proud of me and very happy with where we are. And you're right, that is a better way to see things. It's like, yeah, I won awards, but the awards come from the love you have in your home, the happiness you have in your life, and the perspective you choose to have on that.
But you just brought up Cannibal comedian.
Yes.
You played Crystal,
Yes.
and apparently, I heard was that you didn't know Aaron outside of Charlie doing filming.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
was there a reason?
So I was cast as Crystal very early on, before everyone had to go. As soon as Big Top Evil came out, Sean's like, "Hey, I'm already writing another movie. Here's the synopsis. We're trying to figure out who could be They didn't know who was going to be the lead yet, but he definitely knew I was going to be Crystal because he's worked with me before. He wanted me to have the accent that I used for Big Top Evil, just kind of this mixed up country. You don't know where they're from, but you know they're from somewhere else. Just kind of that non-distinct accent. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And so we kind of worked together on that character. I would often send him little jokes. He would send me lines to practice or songs to maybe practice, which we couldn't really get coordinated very easily. But we got a lot done. And by the time I went out, it was like February 2020. This was like a few weeks before everything was shut down. And I had to raise money to go out on my own. This is like funding I had to do. I got a trailer because they had no place for me. So I rented a trailer so I could stay on site. And when I showed up and walked in, day one, he was already shooting the scene. So I didn't even get to meet him. So because he was shooting scenes and I'm getting all set up. And then I get to see Miss Sadistic again because they live out in California. I hadn't seen them in a couple of years because they moved out there. And so I was having fun seeing them. And then in the corner, finally, later when we had dinner, Aaron was just sitting in the corner eating his food. And they're like, "Oh, this is Aaron. He plays the Cannibal comedian." And I'm like, "Oh, awesome. Nice to meet you." And he's like, "Nice to meet you." And then that was about it for our interaction. We pretty much kept to ourselves. And it wasn't until the reel started rolling that we even said our lines to each other. And I think that rawness and that newness and that authentic interaction is what helped our characters have this natural connection, because it was us talking for the first time. It was us interacting for the first time in these scenes, in these scenarios. So it felt very much like a genuine interaction because it was. We didn't rehearse it. We rehearsed our lines ourselves separately. But when the scene came and I had to be in character and he came in, I don't know this man. Just like in the movie, I don't know this man. I don't know his intentions. I don't know his past. I don't know his approach on things. Is he going to be mean to me? He's going to be nice. I don't know. I generally was just like, I don't know what to expect from the psychopath. And it really helped with the character. And it wasn't until like clip that we were like, oh, hey, buddy, what's up? Let's have a shot. And yeah, it was an unspeakable thing. We just kind of did that and it worked for us. So I think we just didn't want to touch it. We didn't want to say anything. We just let it happen. And it was just worked really well. It really helped with our chemistry. And yeah, I'm happy that happened that way. It helped my role. It helped my character very much.
Well, what I was going to ask there is folks, it's total ADHD. I'm answering questions on text and listening to, Austin and all. But what I was going to say is, would you say that helped everything in terms of hitting the right spot at the right time with the storytelling, with what you were just describing?
Yes, because I was living an authentic experience with also a scenario that I have experienced before on top of a character I know how to empathize with. So all those layers was like Holy Trinity. It really, really helped me nail down what I'm supposed to be doing out there and who my character actually was. Because you can only figure out who that person is on paper until you interact with the world around you that's created for that character. You need to see the bed she's going to be tied to. You need to see the facility she has to live in. You need to experience the desert roads of nothingness, knowing there's no one out there to save you. And I just let that take on. I just let that take in on me. And I know it's only temporary. When you are doing method acting and you're letting everything build on that, you also have to know how to let it go when you're done. And that's an important step, very important step. But
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I'm just proud I did the hard work. That's often scary to people because you don't know what you're going to get out of it. There's no promises. There's no guarantees that it even comes out. And to put all this energy and love into something, you just have a lot of hope.
Yeah. Are you able to separate the character from the person at the end of the day? Because there's things that can be intense and all that stuff, but then you kind of let it go and I got to be Austin again. I got to be wife. I got to be mom. I got to be the real person.
I see the character as any other person that I can relate to. I can relate to you on many different subjects, but at the end of the day, I'm not taking your pains and your fears on me to my home. I'm not taking those stressors of your life with me because those are your journeys. Those are your aspects to compete with. I'm here to share the experience with you. Just like my characters, I shared an experience with them, but it's not my journey anymore.
Right on. So what is next for you? Obviously, you got those.
Yeah.
Do we know how soon you'll be working on that stuff?
On that. I got some juice on it.
What can we talk about? What juice can we share?
I already have a little bit of a cult detective out there. Some of that it's not being shot yet. It's going to be shot next year after Siesta. But it's one that I've actually done some scenes on. And it was done on Longboat Key. No, it wasn't Longboat Key. It was Longboat Key, I think. It's a private island, and it's just this really creepy area that has like just this air. The best way I can describe the air of the movie is imagine Florida during the storm season where the skies just kind of take over with these ghostly lights and sunsets with the darkness that the dawn brings through the shadows of the trees. It's going to be that kind of air of haunting. And it's a cult detective because the detective has supernatural abilities and is exploring a murder that my character, I get to play the ghost in it, died. And so it's nice because I get to play a ghost in this one. I often have to play the villain, but this time I'm the victim.
Hey.
But then I got a call from the same producer. His name's Patrick Alexander, by the way. He runs the film department at Ringling College. But this isn't through the college. This is a separate thing. He's like, hey, I have a movie that just got greenlit called Siesta. And we're going to be filming out in December. Are you going to be free? I have a role for you. And I'm like, yes. And her name's going to be Florence. And she's the bartender, owner, and everything. And that's like a central point for a lot of the scenes. But they're trying to get two very well-known actors for two of the lead roles. But I cannot mention their names yet because they're still working out contracts. But if this really works out, this will be one of the most exciting movies I've ever been a part of. It has drama, it has local appeal, and it's something that hits all three kind of genres of ages, because you have the older actors that'll be in there, you'll have some newer, younger actors, and the area of Sarasota is very live and poppin', and it has a lot of opportunities for films out here, and it's kind of taking advantage of an area that hasn't been taken advantage of yet, because it's an amazing film area. Have you been to Siesta Key at all? Have you heard of Siesta Key?
I've heard of it. I haven't been there yet. So if they're looking to hire any fugly guys.
Yeah. So that's where millionaires and billionaires like to put their houses. So this is the kind of area they'll be shooting at. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. And I read you the log line, right? Yeah, I read you the log line. Shooting in December. And then after we shoot Siesta, that's when we'll be going right into shooting Occult Detective. The producer, Patrick Alexander, said that this movie is Siesta is a lot like the writings of Elmore Leonard. Have you heard of Elmore Leonard? If there's any, yeah, okay. So he says that he absolutely loves his writing, and Siesta is very much the heir of Elmore Leonard book. So I don't know if that does anything for you, but I'm super excited to be involved in this project. And when I get more info, I'll let you know and update you.
Well, Miss Austin, Judd, thank you so much for the time. This has been fun.
Thank you. I've had a good time. This has been a fun interview. I appreciate you bringing up my past and my family, because not many people bring that up, but I appreciate it. And it was a lot of fun.
Everybody's got a story to tell, and I like telling stories because it helps move things along.
Getcha. And thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey folks, looking for the ultimate destination for the nerd enthusiasts and collectors? Well, we found the spot for you. Nerds Nest Collectibles is a haven for nerds, geeks, and fans alike, as they have many different products and certainly more to come. Make sure you go ahead and visit them at nerdsnestcollectibles.com. Check them out.
Hey there, Malik Zahara, and you're listening to Crazy Train Radio. Come on down.